go from there. So, good morning, everyone. Most of you I know, some of you I don't know. But I am Krisha. I'm with the Reach Initiative, and we are the parent of the West Virginia Reentry Councils. So we've been, we're the ones that host this meeting, and so you've seen Jeremiah for a while. You saw me. Pretty soon you'll be seeing Terry, and I'll introduce her in a minute. So we'll go through a couple of things, and let's see, is Bonnie, did I see you come in? Bonnie, are you our speaker today? She's okay. All right. So we'll go through, we'll do interjections. Bonnie will save you for last, if that's okay for you to do your presentation, and we'll go from there. But
Oh, do you know what? I may have missed, or am I presenting today?
I don't know. I had you, Mindy had sent me that you were,
I
but I
did last
know,
time.
did you? Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Well, then
I
never
presented. Oh, no, that's okay. Yeah, I presented on the last call because I'm
mind.
like,
Okay.
I think I already did.
Okay. It gets confusing when there's 21 of us, and I'm like, who's where? So
Yeah,
but
yeah, no, no, it was last call, but
yes.
if anyone
Hey
has,
Okay.
Krisha. Hey
Hey,
Krisha,
what?
this is Jen with Northwood.
Uh-huh.
At the last meeting they had asked Northwood to present.
Uh-huh.
So I'm on here today, and also our one of our crisis unit managers from Brooke County, or I'm sorry, he's the director up there. He is
Uh-huh.
on here as well. So we are
Okay.
here if you yep.
Nice. See, it all works out. We just,
Yeah.
it all works out. You just gotta, go with plan B or C or D or whatever. So um so the biggest thing, and let's talk first, is Mindy was the chair. She has now stepped down. She's not with the public defender's office anymore. So we will need a new chair for this council. So if anyone is interested in that, is stepping up as the chair, please let me know, let Terry know. You can message us. Basically, as the chair, you're kind of the person to pull these meetings together, just kind of be the host. And find the presenters for each month, and connect with your community. You are in your community. I am not in your community. So as much as I want to help you, you're the subject matter expert for your community. So that's what I need you for as the chair. So if anybody is interested in that, please, send me a chat or a email or Terry, and we'll get with you to help you into that role. Tanya, like I said, was serving as secretary, and she and I were on another meeting just a few minutes ago. Her role is changing with her organization, so she's going to still stay on, but does not want to move up towards chair just because she's switching roles in her organization. So that's a lot for her to take on at once. So that's my plea to you. Somebody, please, in your community, step up and be chair. So, so there's that. The West Virginia Restorative Justice Summit is June 14th and 15th in Buckhannon. This is the last week for early bird registration, so it's still $200. It's 2 full days, so all day Friday, all day Saturday. There are about 30 different presenters, so you can get plenty of CEU credits if you need them for LPC, for social work, for PRSS. There's all kinds of different things. So if I will drop that in the chat if you still are interested in participating in that. And then the next thing is we are now, the reentry councils are now live on all the tablets in the jails and the prisons. So they are able to contact the Reach and West Virginia Reentry Councils directly and send a message to us. And I say us, I mean me, because I'm the one that checks that email right now. So in the first couple of days, we got more than 30, emails saying, hey, what can you help me with? So I send just a blanket email of when are you releasing, where are you releasing to, what are your immediate needs, and then do you have any charges, SO or violent or whatever that would restrict employment or housing. And then just kind of, go back and forth with them to figure out who I can find, which council is best to serve them. And then each of the council chairs have been a little different on how they want me to address that. Some want me to send it to the full reentry council. Some want me to send it just directly to them. So right now I'm just kind of trying to do triage and figure out what the best way to help these people are. That's what the reentry councils have wanted to do, where our purpose is to connect with them before they're released and out in the community and end up homeless for, you know, how many ever days till we can get them someplace. So it's here, it's live, it's now. I just need, you know, to work together with everyone to figure out how we can get them to the next warm handoff. So I'm working with Seth. Tomorrow I'm meeting with Jobs and Hope for their navigators that are in all of the jails. So just trying to figure out, so many of us do the same things and it defeats the purpose if we're overlapping services and 4 of us are looking for a bed for the same person and we're taking up beds from other people if we're all looking for the same thing. So let's all work together to help provide services for these people. So that's that. And then I will end by saying that last week we hired Terry Castle as the newest member of the Reach. And she is a Jobs and Hope participant and she's our next full-time employee. And from there, Ms. Terry, I will hand it off to you to tell your story. And then, you know, we'll just go through and everybody call on somebody, tell them what you got going on. And then we'll end with Jen and her presentation.
Wonderful. Thank you, Krisha.
You're welcome.
My name is Terry Castle, as she said. I just would like to point out one small thing when she said that people getting out of jail and prison. People getting out of jail can end up homeless. People that are in prison, if they don't have a home plan, they cannot get in. So it's very important that, you know, people are getting out of prison, that we try to help them get home plans. Other than that, I have I've been free from Lakeland Correctional Center for almost 3 years. I have worked, I've volunteered, I've done many things, went to college, took my PRSS study guide, and just done everything I could to job. I finally on with the Center on Budget and Policy, where Sarah Whitaker took me under her wing and taught me how to write, how to research, how to do a whole lot of stuff in a short amount of time. And that's where I introduced the Reach Initiative and ACLU, West Virginia, and all of that. And I just thank you. And I will pass it off to Grant Hoffman.
Hi guys, I'm Grant Hoffman. I'm the parent resource navigating defender's office. I worked with Minnie before directly, but I hadn't knew about like the meeting she had with the Council of Churches to try to get those reentry bags together. Is anyone familiar with that at all? Ring a bell?
I was with her. I was with her at that meeting. So she presented the bags and the whole idea of it. She had displays and everything with it, but the church council pretty much wanted to discuss amongst themselves as to whether they wanted to you know, get involved and how, you know, deep they wanted to get involved. I don't know if they have had at any point after that contacted back to, you know, let her know how much they wanted to do. There was a second part of our meeting there that was the part that I tried to spearhead, which was attempting to get the church councils to put together some kind of a transportation option for people after they get home after incarceration to be able. I presented that to the board, and unfortunately it was at the very tail end, so I didn't get much time to share, but there were a couple individual pastors that had come up and spoken to me at the end, and I have their contact information. And I also have another gentleman who I've heard is putting together something in Marion County, And then I have some contacts in Preston County that I've been working with. Just nothing has been laid down fully yet. That's unfortunately all the information that I have because the rest of it was all with Mindy.
Okay.
It's Krisha again. So, so the large duffel bags that she probably brought back from our conference in December, those are actually sewn by inmates at St. Mary's, and so the Reach purchases those. And then just whatever community service wants to help with filling those bags, we can do that. Backpack ministry is, is a huge thing. And it can be any kind of hygiene products, pop top foods, bottled water. We put in, if we are the Reach, we do a lot of them ourselves. So we'll put in, sunscreen or those Mylar thermal blankets,
Right.
stuff like that. So Marshall Corps sends a lot of donations for us for backpacks. And so it just really, it depends on how you can get that faith community involved in it. And then this past weekend, we actually did a faith community women's conference. And that was one of the things we talked about was backpack ministry and, just even collecting, backpacks because, every year your kid doesn't have to have a new backpack, and if they think they do, what are you doing with the old ones? Let's turn those into something useful. And, when you all travel, Seth, you said the other day you travel all over the place. So what are you doing with all those hotel toiletries? Those could go in there. So yeah, I just called you out. Sorry. So stuff like that, have a donation box at the front of the church and you drop them in before you go sit, and then somebody collects them and makes duffel bags or backpacks or whatever. Ministry doesn't have to be just going into the prisons and jails. It can look at a lot of different forms. So, that's kind of the backpack situation.
Okay. Does anyone have a contact from the Council of Church, or Tanya, do you know who she spoke to directly just to follow up with that to see what was going on?
Yeah, so the gentleman that we initially set up the meeting with was Matthew or Matt of the gentleman that started Abundant Life. I can try to find his contact information. I have Mindy's cell phone number. I can contact her and get it from her as well.
I shot her a text this morning before this meeting, just to see what was going on. I hadn't heard back though, but yeah, I just wanted to follow up with some of the projects I know that she was working on. There was that I wanted to discuss, and then just to see where we are with that reentry simulation as well.
Answer that. So I'm facilitated. We have the space at the law school already set up. There were a couple people that were working on getting credits. So I got some law enforcement credits set up. I'm working on getting continuing education credits for attorneys. And then I believe someone else was going to work on some social work credits. But I don't remember exactly who that. I'm trying to look at emails here because I knew that was one of your questions. So the space and everything and all that is taken care of. We do start thinking about getting the word out there so that we get people signed up to come to it. Sure that for a while, you don't have to worry about volunteers. I would bring the volunteers on. We just need to make sure that we get the word out and we get folks in them that day. And I believe we're also doing so it's going to be 2 simulations, if I remember correctly. There's so many things going on. 2 simulations, and then we're going to do the TBI
Right.
In the mid, and I think we're going to be doing the credits for that as well. So it'd be like a day where someone comes in for 4 hours or 3 hours and they're able to get quite a few credits. But for the most part, that's kind of where we're at. We have things all set up. We just to get the word out there and make sure that all these credits are lined up.
Okay. Is there a hire or anything made up for that event?
Nope. I don't think
Okay.
any of that has happened yet.
Okay. Well, here, basic question. So what was the date again on that?
May 16th.
Okay. So that's coming up. So I'm on the Council for the United Way as well, and their family resource network person could, if we just get a flyer made up for that event, I think that's a good way to just get that out, is to give it to them because she has a quite extensive email chain that sends out, and I'm sure every one of our individual organizations. Is there someone that could put that flyer together? Sure. Anyone that could volunteer for that?
I can do it. I'll take care of it. I'll put it
Okay.
together. The thing that we need to make sure, so I'll go back and find one of the emails from Mindy and reach out and see if we can figure out who was working on the social work credits. I'll reach out to my contact about my credits. We want to be able to put on the flyer that we have the
Right.
credits available.
Yes.
To really get people involved. So let me reach out to that email. If you don't mind putting your information in the chat, and then I'll
Sure.
make sure that you're included on that email.
Yeah.
So that we can get kind of an update on that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that in a second. And sorry to take all the time. I just wanted just to catch up because she was in our office, I feel somewhat obligated just to like help facilitate the transition to whoever will be taking over next. But I know that was like kind of the two biggest flagship things. I know the TBI simulation as well was big. What's the date on the TBI simulation?
It's the same day as the reentry simulation.
It's all the
So
same.
just-
Okay.
Yes, it's gonna be a reentry simulation in the morning, and then from my understanding, it was lunch where he will do a presentation on the TBI, and then it was gonna be a work lunch, and then we'd roll into the second simulation right after that.
Okay. Well, thank you for taking point on all that, Ashley. And if there's anything I can do to help here, I'll drop my information in the chat. But did we talk to someone from like the Center of Disabilities about the TBI presentation? Are they already on board?
Yes, and I'm sorry, off the top of my head, someone else might have to jump in and remind me who the TBI guy is.
I think I have his contact information. Let me go through.
I know as soon as I hear his name, I'm gonna remember, but I can see his face. We'll get that in the chat. It's Jeremy Dixon. I'm gonna put his
Okay.
contact info in the chat right now. But he's the one that's gonna be doing that, and I believe we can kind of contact with him and just make sure they're providing the lunch as well.
Okay. Well, those are the thing with the council of churches and putting together reentry bags, getting a contact for that, and then all of the reentry simulation stuff. Those are the two biggest things that I wanted to hit on. Sorry to hijack the meeting for a second. I just wanted to cover those things though. But I guess let me introduce our new resource now. Jody Link is on the call as well. But Jody, if you'd like to just introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Jody here at the Mon Public Defender's office, and yeah, so I'm excited to be working with you all, and very passionate about this area of work, and yeah, it's a pleasure. If we're calling on people, I'll call on Bonnie.
I had a feeling you were going to call me for that reason. Hi, my name is Bonnie Helvey. I'm with Indivior. We have pharmaceutical products for opioid use disorder, also schizophrenia. They're both long-acting injectables. And I have an interesting job because even though I work for a pharmaceutical company, I get to really help a lot of people, which is a passion of mine. So I work in criminal justice space, so I call on all the jails, prisons, really anyone that has a link to anyone that's possibly been incarcerated or coming out, transition of care work. One of the things I've been just personally very interested in is making sure that patients don't have an interruption in their MAT treatment. So if they're coming out of incarceration, a lot of times they're more likely to overdose. They're more likely to have trouble continuing their medication. So that's been something I've been working on, is helping patients get treatment post incarceration. So that's why I attend these calls, just to see if there's any area I can help. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. But thanks for letting me join. Oh,
You're muted.
thank you. I would like to call on Deborah Grant.
Hey guys, I'm Deb Grant. I'm an advocate with Disability Rights of West Virginia. Disability Rights is a federally mandated protection and advocacy organization for the state. So we work with folks with all kinds of different disabilities, from little kids up to older folks, and there's a bunch of different programs that we do. One of the things that we like to do is join these councils and hear what you guys have going on. And occasionally I am in contact with some of you guys for advocacy, working on discharge plans for folks who are currently incarcerated, who are going to be and trying to figure out all the stuff that they need to be successful once they're released. So thank you for that. And I will call on Seth.
Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Seth Hansen. I'm the Partnership Development Manager for Groups Recover Together. We are an outpatient opioid use disorder treatment program in West Virginia. We have 7 locations. Closest to this council would be Clarksburg, but we offer a hybrid model. So we're able to treat some kind of wraparound service for opioid use disorder, pretty much all of West Virginia. So one thing I did want to announce, we have actually partnered with Mosaic and created a family support group that basically has options to participate in an 8-week support group, basically helping anybody's family, friends dealing with someone that might be using substances, and kind of help cope and handle that together. So I'll put a link to that in the chat, but it starts Thursday and it's an 8-week program. So feel free to utilize that resource if you want. So I will go with Jen with Northwood.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jen. I am the outreach coordinator for Northwood Health Systems Crisis Unit. I try to get on all the meetings in the state just to let everybody know about our crisis unit, because we do take referrals from anywhere in the state. We do have 2 crisis units in the Northern Panhandle, and Matt is with me today. He is the director, one of the crisis units. So he will be talking more about this after everyone has a chance to speak. But we have 16 beds at 2 facilities, and we can help with withdrawal management and also acute psychiatric signs and symptoms. So like I said, Matt will talk more about that. And if you guys have any referrals, we'll give you all of our information then. So thank you. And I will call on Beth.
Hi, my name is Beth McCray. I am the hospital to home care coordinator in the North Central area for the West Virginia Coalition to End Homelessness. Right now, I'm kind of in a wavy situation with what my program is doing, because we're undergoing some program development with my current position, whether or not I will be providing housing case management or be more of a gaze in the hospital systems and helping, medical staff kind of understand what would be an appropriate discharge for our folks who may not have a safe place to discharge to, which has been like the biggest barrier, especially now with our, big shelter system being kind of kaput. So more to come there, but I like to join as many meetings as I can so that I can get as many resources as I can, because we have about 21 case managers providing direct services in the North Central area. So as many resources as I can gather, I like to provide my friends and coworkers. So thank you. I'm sorry. I pick Colleen from Christian Help, because you're the only one I know on here.
Thanks, Pat. Good morning, everybody. My name is Colleen Langford. I work with Christian Help here in Morgantown. We provide opportunity for individuals to get material goods from our free store. We have a food pantry that's available to individuals, a career closet that can help with vocational support services, as well as clothing and attire for employment. We have life skill classes that include personal finance, insurance, nutrition, and job readiness. And in addition to that, I feel like I'm missing something. We have emergency financial assistance support. It's a limited amount of money on a rolling calendar year, but it can be useful for individuals in transitional situations. But we also have a very robust referral support system. You were talking about the backpacks and the duffel bags. In the event that you don't have a regular source to fill those, please feel free to send people here to make those requests. We have toiletries and undergarments, socks available on a regular basis at the front desk. If anybody is looking for something specific like blankets or Mylar blankets, pillows, whatever you can help with that. And they land in an apartment. We also have what we call a home or a housewarm off with these on the necessities of being comfortable, I guess. In the apartment, they will have what they need to at least be able to make coffee and something to eat. We also have linens and those types of things. So we're here to be a resource for you and your clients. Please refer people as needed. For the public defender's office, just a reminder, feel free to come here and obtain clothing for court as necessary. We are available whenever you need to get to it. If anybody indicates that the career closet's only open Tuesday and Thursday, that's not a career closet need, but it is sourced out of the career closet. So just come when you have to. And if there's anything we can help with, please let us know. We appreciate being part of this. Oh, sorry, I will choose, let's see, how about Courtney Summers?
That may be the note. They have like an automatic notes for quarter. That may be that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
I think, Tanya, did you speak or did you just respond to questions before?
I responded to questions.
You're up.
All right. Yeah, I am Tanya Helmick. I work Virginia Sober Living Solutions. I work also known as West Virginia Peers. I work under the COSIP grant. I help people who are incarcerated look for treatment options, specifically if they're in jail and need to get into treatment for their court hearing. So I worked closely with Mindy, like she, right before, unfortunately, she was gone, there was, we had put in place where she had my intake form and she, I guess, got it out to all the attorneys and they would just individually have their client fill it out and I automatically got it. But either way, however the referral comes into me, I work on getting their treatment planned out. I work closely with the attorney, the court system, and the individual and the jail. I also help people that are in prison work on their home plan. I work closely with the individual, the prisoner, and the reentry coordinator at the prison to help them out with their home plan. So yeah, and then after they get out and wherever they're going, I'm their peer recovery coach for at least 6 months, as long as they continue asking for services, whatever they might need. Hygiene items, clothing, resources, food stamps, Medicaid, whatever it might be. Okay. Yeah, I need to, is that everybody or no? Sammy, how about you?
Good morning. I'm Sammy Van Hoos with Highmark Health Options, West Virginia. We're the new Medicaid provider for the state. I work with community-based organizations, and I'm also working on developing our reentry program. Sherry?
Basically, we try to work with our community partners to ensure that information and education about the Medicaid plans is out there and available, that people are getting signed up if they are eligible for Medicaid, and that they are taking advantage of all of that they have with the Medicaid plan. So we're here to help in any way we can. Is there anyone left?
I haven't gone yet. And I got kicked out there for a second. So my name is Ashley Lowe. I am the reentry coordinator with the U.S. Attorney's Office. We handle the 32 northern counties, which includes all the counties in this council here. My main updates were really just the simulation, just to see where we were on that. So we already chatted about that. And then Krishna already talked about the tablets. It's one thing she forgot to kind of mention was that we've had the opportunity to actually meet with people on Zoom. So if anyone here has a connection at any of the local jails or prisons, and you have someone that you think we could kind of make that happen, it was really beneficial. It's a lot better than doing an email back and forth. And it also saves them money because it costs them, and I'm not exactly sure what it is, but let's say 15 cents an email or something. So at least that way we're not making it something that costs them money. So it was really great. We had 2 individuals that were able to tell us where they were going. You know, we were able to find out what their charges were. So if that would create any issues with going into certain housing, different things like that, and really just be able to kind of talk and figure out what would be the best option for them. And then we were able to refer them out to different folks in the area where they're returning to. So it's been really great so far. I hope it continues to be something like that we're able to do. It's really nice to be able to have that one kind of location for it to come into so we can make sure that all of their needs are being met. But if anyone has any thoughts on a way to improve what we're doing, we would love to hear that as well, because you all are out in the field doing the work. So if you come up with anything that might work a little bit better, let us know and we'll try to implement it. But it took us a while to get the flyer on the tablets, so not sure how fast we can move with getting any changes made, but we appreciate all of you. Was there anyone else that didn't go yet? I'm sorry, who was presenting? Was it you, Jen? I apologize.
Yeah, it's myself and Matt. I think Matt's going to do most of the speaking, but I'll let you do it, Matt.
All right. Yeah, thanks for having me. My name is Matt Kreitz. I'm located in Weirton, West Virginia. I oversee the kind of operations in Brooke County, but I can kind of speak on behalf of the whole agency because we have whatever programming is available in Ohio County or Wetzel County, we still have available to us. So basically, specifically in Brooke County, we have one of our 2 agencies crisis stabilization units, and we have an outpatient program. I don't know how relevant the outpatient program is here. We have them in Ohio County and below too, also down into Moundsville, and a variation down in Wetzel, where we do various programs. It could be, simple medication management, counseling, therapy. We do have MAT options available. And then I know in Wetzel County, we deal with an adult drug court. We have in Wheeling only, we have a community focused treatment program, kind of more focused on mental health. It's a daily gathering of clients and everything. But probably the meat and potatoes of all of it is for this purpose here would be the crisis stabilization units. So basically, if you are or are not familiar with like a crisis stabilization unit in West Virginia, it's I liken it to what people would think of as an inpatient, but it's a less formal setting. It's not a hospital setting. It's a behavioral health unit. It's more relaxed. And basically, when people are coming there, the goal there is to get them out of their quote unquote crisis, as it sounds, which could be mental health focused, substance abuse focused, or both. Probably the good thing about that setting and the most relevant here would be, according to, if you wanted to go by like the state Medicaid regulations, we would admit based on elevated psychiatric signs or symptoms, thoughts of self-harm or harm to others, the need for medication management, and withdrawal management for substance abuse. Those are kind of the main 4 areas, but we really work to try and get people in there. There's people I'm thinking too, coming out of jail or anything, if they have, if their psychiatric signs and symptoms are elevated enough to where it's impacting their daily functioning, then usually we can get them onto a crisis unit, even if they haven't like actively been using every day due to being incarcerated, or maybe they still were. In either case, though, it kind of is what I would call maybe that first step into getting, life back together, getting stabilized mentally, physically, whatever's needed, and to continue on to different treatment options. Of course, if somebody's in one of our kind of catchment areas, they could follow up with us. But a lot of people, especially in Brooke County, we get a lot more people that are from around the state. We have relationships with PRSS staff, lawyers, hospitals. I know Mon General, for example, refers to us fairly often. People might end up in an ER there and then need referred for treatment, or some people come off the street. We do take walk-ins 24/7. You can literally just walk in and be assessed. So we probably up here work more with referrals from people like you all to get into the crisis unit. So what it really is good to, what we see more now than we ever did. So in Brooke County, we opened up in November of 2015. I was involved with opening the unit specifically. I can tell you from then until now, it's almost like a totally different treatment landscape out there in terms of follow-up. We get more non-local people than ever before, non-local to these counties in the Northern Panhandle. And we get more people that are using us as kind of that initial step to then get to like a 28-day rehab or a sober living than ever before. I remember in 2015, it was pretty much, we mostly had local people and people that were going to go there, maybe detox, go to outpatient. Now we see more people than ever before. We have more relationships than ever before with various other programs for follow-up. A lot of people, like I said, use us as that initial step and then a stepping stone to get onto their more long-term form of treatment, and then hopefully continue on from there. If you're going to progress through the stages of like getting out of the crisis and then onto a more stable environment, whether that's a rehab, a sober living, it's kind of all part of the process. And I think that stabilization unit is probably that first step in that process. Probably another big thing is we have, even if people are, coming from out of the area, Northwood does have a homeless shelter in Wheeling. And they do run background checks kind of to get people in there, make sure they're appropriate. And it's, that is an option for people out of the area also to kind of come in there and if need be, to be placed at the shelter, pending bed availability, of course, and then to do follow-up services with Northwood, either as a temporary or more permanent solution. So yeah, you know, in a nutshell, that's kind of what we do. Like I said, we can treat, but we do see a lot of primary like substance abuse disorder. That's kind of the bread and butter here. But we do also, like I said, have the ability to treat just those with mental health symptoms, or usually it's both substance abuse and mental health. And like I said, if kind of getting somebody into a unit is a good first step, because then, like I said, we have so many relationships built up where we can usually find somebody, and I can attest that the staff over there is very good at it, kind of grinding out the work to find what the next step will be, you know, after they're out of that initial period. The crisis stabilization unit's probably meant to be like a 7 to 10 day stay. You know, but we usually try to spend that time, number one, getting them out of the crisis, and number two, just as importantly, what's their next step, and then helping make that happen. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's kind of what we do. And you know, if any of that, you know, sounds like you could utilize it. Myself, usually Jen is our main point of contact. She, you know, feeds us referrals all the time. So she's a good point person on that to getting them into. But I would always just say, nonetheless, whether you think somebody might qualify or need the type of treatment, you know, don't hesitate to shoot somebody our way, and at least, you know, we can get them on the phone, kind of do a phone screen and see what our best options are. And we're willing to screen anybody. So, yeah, and we're primarily, just to mention it, you know, Medicaid funded. But we do have some other options. We use the state opioid response grant for out-of-state residents or somebody who may not qualify for Medicaid if they have a qualifying diagnosis of an opiate use disorder or a stimulant use disorder. We can make use of the SOAR funding to get them covered. We also have a charity care sort of grant funded option too. So even if somebody doesn't qualify for Medicaid, it doesn't mean we're dead in the water. And we also have a few options we can look into. We kind of try to eliminate coverage as a barrier if at all possible. But like I said, we're always willing to at least have the conversation and start the process. And I think in a nutshell, it's what we do. If anybody has any questions, or if there's anything that wasn't clear, I can explain further.
Matt, sorry, I'm taking the minutes for the meeting right now, and I missed a couple things. What did you say the name of the crisis unit is, and what were the locations again?
So the one up here would be the Brooke County Crisis Stabilization Unit, just as part of Northwood Health Systems. It's in Weirton, West Virginia. It's actually located pretty close to the Weird Medical Center Hospital. And then our other crisis stabilization unit, just our Ohio County Crisis Stabilization Unit, is located in Wheeling, West Virginia.
Thank you.
Yep.
I just wanted to say I put my information in the chat box if anybody needs to reach out, my email, my telephone number, and we're always available if you have any questions. So just let us know.
Thank you very much. Does anybody have anything else? If not, I won't hold you all up.
Says Deborah Grant asked a question about what's going on with Bartlett. I was kind of wondering that myself.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You know, they had a meeting maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, where they kind of went down the list of everyone that was currently residing there and just what their status was and like where they're going to go. So that's as far as the insight I can give to that subject. I don't know.
Thank you.
For those of us that are not local there to your area, is it closing then?
That's given that meeting. Yes, that's what I think's happening.
And when you say they're going other places, are they coming to other parts of the state, or are they still trying to keep them somewhat local to you all?
Someone else speak.
So they went down the list of the current clients that they had housed at the shelter, and they found permanent housing solutions for them, whether that be through the housing authority, through Bartlett's other housing options, or whatever it was. So just going down the list of the current clients and finding whether they needed their documentation still, or what they needed, what barriers there were to housing, and solving those quickly so that they could get housed.
Great. How many people, do we have any idea how many people we're looking at? Moving?
Like how many people were on the list?
Yeah.
I think it was 25, 27, 28, something like that. I think the shelter was at max. So yeah.
That's pretty awesome that they were able to get everybody somewhere.
Definitely, yeah.
That was for, and they still have like apartments or like some other type of like housing that's still going, correct? Or do you guys know?
Bartlett has multiple housing options. They have transitional housing, they have supported housing, they have long-term housing, and they have the triage center. Only the triage center's been affected. Right
Okay.
now, they're trying to transition their clients into an appropriate setting so they can retool the program, if you will. They're currently interviewing for the executive director position, and there have been other staff changes at the shelter itself. But it is expected to close at least for a short-term period during the middle of the summer.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. That's really good information. Appreciate it.
Colleen, quick sidetrack. I just had a case manager ask, are you guys still providing assistance with electric bills?
Yes.
Yeah. Like DHHR?
Yeah, we suggest people go to DHHR because they typically have more funds available, and then they'll give them a referral sheet. They can come to us in Catholic Charity, Salvation Army's defunct. There is some support available through other resources, like Center for Excellence in Disability has some, depending upon if you qualify for their grant funds. Same for Fairmont Morgantown Housing Authority, but we'll try to work with people on that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, I guess that's everything. I will let you all go and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thanks, Terry.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Hey.
Bye.
Thank you.